All right, welcome back to the never-ending project. I got one coat of bright side on the bottom insides of the locker lids. Now I'm gonna do the top, rolled and tipped. Again, bright side, thinned about 10%, and I'm gonna give it a little surface prep just to wipe it down and clean the dust, any dust off of it. Let's get started.
Finally gonna get this project done?
Let's hope so. It's only gonna make the rest of the cockpit look worse.
Oh, there you go.
I brought the locker lids back from the trailer, and they make the rest of the cockpit look shameful, so I didn't go too crazy with the second coat of the poly. Why are you rolling your eyes?
That's your reasoning?
Yeah, I don't want it to look bad. Now I'm going to mask them off and put Kiwi grip down. This stuff comes in a bag now, which is nice because you can squeeze all the air out, and it theoretically should last forever. Got to mask everything off. I'm going to spread it out with a notch trowel and roll it with their special roller that all comes in a nice little kit. Actually, I had to get the spreader separately. So basically you get the Kiwi grip and the roller. You can actually vary the texture. You can put it on with a regular 3/8 nap roller from Home Depot and achieve a smoother finish. If you need to recoat this stuff, like later on down the, a year from now or whatever, they say you can just do it right on top. You just clean it with boat soap.
Oh, right on.
Scrub the deck and let it dry, and then
I didn't know that.
reapply it. It says you don't even need to mask it if you can color inside the lines. This part I've marked out in Sharpie. These need to be ground down a little bit, just because they sit a little bit high, and it causes the lid to rock back and forth. I guess this project kind of blossomed into a touch-up project as well. So I did the new locker lids yesterday. Today I'm just kind of scraping up all the loosies that we showed you before. This thing, it needs some help. So scraped up all the loose stuff, sanded it, hitting it with 80 grit to kind of scuff it up and give it some tooth. Not everywhere, but then I also think we're gonna clean it with some simple green. Give it a rinse, mask everything off again, and go for it. Let's see what we can roll out, see how much we got left in that bag of Kiwi grip. So we're all masked off, sanded, vacuumed, washed it. Time to squirt the Kiwi grip. All right, I've been dancing around this for weeks, and it's finally time to get this locker lids installed, get them finished. Propane locker's cool. I got that, had to do a little bit of sanding and trimming on the built-in frame, or on the boat part of it. This one, I have a little problem with the hinge. It doesn't want to lay flat, so I've got to trim down some of this corner. But as you can see where I've marked out on here, this is not. So there's like highs and low spots all along here. I mean, it was never precision when Tiana built the boat. So I'm gonna nibble on it with this thing. Just take the multi-master and just see if I can shave these corners down until the lid sits flat and flush enough that the hinge fits. So to try and keep fiberglass dust from getting all over the inside of our engine room and lazarette, put some cardboard in here. Jenny's gonna be working the vacuum hose angle while I'm trying to trim this thing down and make it level, so we'll see how it goes. So I started out with some hardwood blades, and they've got a nice aggressive cut, but they wear out really quick, so I found these carbide blades that I have, and they seem to be almost in pristine shape. So I just ran around it with some 80. I'm gonna bend some hinges and see if I can make that work.
How are you gonna bend them?
I don't know. By exerting force on one side.
You know what? Shut your face hole.
Yeah, these are quote-unquote security fasteners, but everybody and their brother has a screwdriver that turns these things. Holy cow, look at that. Freaking works. A little bit of weather stripping and some padding buffer.
What about the front hatch?
I gotta do that latch still.
Where are you? Are you out here?
Yes. Checking the fit on these things, seeing where it lines up on the edge of the rim here.
How is it?
I think it's gonna work. I got some of this stuff. I'm going around the perimeter, and I'm going to then finally install the hasp or catch or latch or whatever it is. It shows it as a single, but it's actually two of them in a row. You can actually peel it apart and split it down the middle, but I'm using both sides. I think we used this in our refrigerator at one point.
How does it close? Oh.
Yeah,
How come it wasn't sitting like that before?
I drew a pencil line all the way around the inside perimeter, and then I split it down the middle, so you got one strip riding behind this edge, and then you got the other strip riding on top of it.
Okay.
So it seems to compress nicely, and yeah, should keep water out of the hatch, I would think. What?
It's the wrong stuff.
See how soft this is? This was a little leftover piece. I used that leftover piece down here.
Yeah.
It's a lot softer. This has a different elasticity when you push down on it. It looks like the same profile. It looked exactly like the same profile. I even pulled it out of the box when I was at frickin' Lowe's.
And it's not the same. So it's
not
going to
the
stick
same
up.
as this.
It's going to stick up.
Well, this one's fine because this was the big problem we had to trim down anyway, so.
See, that's a sits higher.
It sits high. Oh my goodness, it's high on this side.
We got to get the other stuff.
Ugh.
Can you not put the hasp on until we get the stuff in, or can you put it on?
I really should, because I need to know where it latches, and if I put more on the outside of it, I cannot freaking believe it. All right, so I'm back and I found the right stuff.
Back from where?
I went to Rio Vista this time.
Where'd you go before?
Lodi. And crossing the McCullough River Bridge, it's a swing bridge, near B&W Resort. I had to wait outbound, and then back on the way home, I got stuck at the same bridge, like an hour apart. And then, obviously, the weather stripping that I got wasn't the right stuff, so I ran into Rio Vista to the old reliable Ace Hardware. You know, if you can support your hometown local Ace Hardware, do it. They usually have what you need. It's not that big box store mentality, even though they are a giant conglomerate chain of...
Actually, franchise.
Are they franchised? So they're locally owned. Yeah, on an aside. Coming home from Ace, I got stuck at the Rio Vista Bridge. I mean, I must have literally just missed the dinging lights because I went into Ace, and when I came out, traffic was stacked up already. So I had to wait for commercial traffic. With the latch in the middle, nice and quiet, doesn't vibrate, doesn't bump, and hopefully keeps water out.
That's the important part.
That was my main goal. So I got these holes spotted and drilled in the front, and don't use a Sharpie because you can't wipe it off.
Yeah, it's all purple.
This is going to be a neat trick. I'm going to have to do it from the other side. All right, they're tightening up.
Is that it? And what about paint?
That's what she said. What about paint?
No business.
I'm not painting it. Because then we're going to stand here with this locker lid standing open for 2 days. I'm glad to be done with this thing.
Me too. So what's the timeline here?
It's been lost.
Memorial Day was the first day we started filming.
This has been a project never would.
May, June, July,
Well,
almost exactly 3 months.
sorry, we haven't washed the cockpit since we painted all the Kiwi grip on, so it's pretty filthy in here, but it latches. It's got weather stripping, it's waterproof. It's so sturdy.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So really happy about that. It was the propane locker. I'm kicking around ideas of kind of improving the drains. It does have, propane lockers have to have overboard drains, and if yours doesn't, it should. But I'm going to put a bigger drain back here in the corner, and I think we're going to dump a bunch of rod and chain for a stern anchor back here.
We need to measure up for that so we can order from Devery.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we'll get a list. I want to get some extra rod for the primary anchor as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the whoopee-ki-yay.
More stuff. It's really nice. It's really like blue out and nice.
Yeah, it's windy.
Oh, that hurricane. Here's Hurricane Hillary for us.
Sustained 15.